Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make these DIY Valentine's Day paper flowers. They make a great gift or decor. First you're going to need some cover stock cardstock. It's about 65 pound weight. You're going to need something to burnish with. This is a popsicle stick, a cutting device, and a gluing device. Okay, so first I wanted to let you know that I'm doing this to show you guys. This is going to be a little series, and this one is the large flower, and I'm doing it with this pink cardstock. I'm going to show you 3 different tutorials of 3 different methods to make 3 different flowers. So this one is the large one, and the first thing we're going to do is you're going to need 9 sheets of paper. This is regular printer size, 8.5 by 11. I got this package of cardstock with 50 sheets in it for $3.47 at Walmart. But check around. I didn't shop for prices. We were just there and I needed it, so I picked it up. Okay, and it comes with 10 of 5 different colors. So what I have done is, and I'm going to link the video in the description box down below, is I actually got inspired by another YouTuber. I was asked to make these paper flowers for the baby shower, and I thought how pretty they would look as just Valentine's Day decor. So I wanted to share it with you guys because I found it very simple to make a very, very pretty flower. So what I just did was created this shape myself. I'm going to show you 3 different shapes on the 3 different flowers that we're going to do. And this one is sort of just like a teardrop. It's a teardrop with a little bump at the top. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take 3 of the sheets of paper and fold them in half. Actually, I folded all the sheets in half, but 3 of them that are folded in half are going to create 6 halves, and you're going to use them to make big petals. So you need 6 large petals. Okay, and then what I've done to make the next smaller size petal is I just referred to the first petal and I pulled it in a little bit on the fold and I pulled it down a little bit just to make it a little smaller. So with the next 3 sheets that are folded in half, I'm going to cut 6 medium-sized petals. And the only thing that's important to note is that you want to make sure that you differentiate between the sizes and that you have it going flat across the bottom, not to a point, because that's going to be important when we go and make the flower. Okay, and you can tweak it. Remember, it's important to remember that nature isn't perfect. Roses are not perfect. Flowers are not perfect. The only flowers that are perfect are ones that are artificially made. I crack myself up. Okay, so in the last 3 pages, we're going to do is we're going to fold them in half, and we're going to cut 3 halves off, and we're going to fold them in half again so that that piece of paper is folded in quarters, and you have 6 quarters. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to reduce the size of the petal and create 6 small-sized petals. So you have 6 small, 6 medium, and 6 large. And they're all roughly the same shape. So that's important too, and they don't have to be exactly perfect like I said before. And once you cut them out, you'll be left over with 3 half sheets, which we'll get to at the end. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut about a 2-inch slit up in the middle of each of the petals, and I'm just doing them all at the same time. I'm doing all 6 at a time. And now we're going to curl the edges. Now there are different methods to curling. I've seen people use a bone folder, a pen, a pencil. Here I'm using the popsicle stick, and I'm using it like a bone folder, and I'm using it to pull against the paper, sort of like you're doing curling ribbon. Alright? And then I'm taking where I did the slit, and I'm putting a little glue on one side, and I'm folding over the edges, and I'm gluing the 2 little tails that I created together. Now for the big leaves, you don't want to overlap too much, because when you overlap extra, it'll want the petal to stand up, and for the big petals in the back, we want them to lay down more. So you're just going to fold them over a tiny bit, and it kind of creates a bowl shape. You'll see here in a second. So if you cannot you don't have a popsicle stick, a butter knife without serrations, I used one of the wooden dowels from the Dollar Tree. I used pens. You'll see in the next two videos where you can actually curl the petal tops with a pen, like curl them over a pen, but any way you could do to curl them back. Now, if you do use a one-sided colored paper, for this particular flower, you want the petals to all be curled back. So if there's a printed or a shiny side, you want that to be what you're looking at while you're curling your petals towards their back, okay? And then once we have all six, we're going to just put a little glue and overlap them. So see here, we make like a half. Three of them will make like a half of a flower. You want that to kind of be how you're judging it. And you don't have to go fast, but if you go fast, the glue does dry really quickly. But if you go fast, then you have to replace. You can go ahead and fix whatever mistakes you might have made. So you see here, I actually did make a mistake. I kind of overlapped one, not quite as much as I should. So I just ripped it apart. Just be gentle when you rip it, and put your two halves of bowls back together again. And you do kind of want to, like, you know, fold one end. Like, always put the right side of the petal on top of the next petal, or vice versa, so that you keep that uniformity that there would be in nature. That way that the rose opens up or the flowers open up, usually they're on top of each other. So you can see here, this is the technique of rolling, and I've taken the dowel and I've rolled from the tip down towards the back, obviously, again, and then I've rolled it a little bit on each side, so the top, you know, the very tip will go back, and also the sides will go back a little bit too, to add a little bit more to that bowl shape. And then with the medium petal, you want to overlap it a little bit more. So about 1/3 of the way on the first petals, about 2/3 of the way on the second, the medium-sized petals, and on the small petals, you're going to overlap them quite a bit. Okay? And then you're just going to repeat this process the same as you did before. And it's okay that there has a hole in the middle, because we're going to fill that in with the stamen and that we're going to create at the end, which just, it's so pretty. I just can't believe I never even thought about making any of these before. And then, like I said, Eden asked me to do them, and I was like, of course. So I wanted to share it with you guys. And the lady who actually did this DIY used a regular colored paper. The next rose, the medium one I'm going to show you tomorrow, the lady used a pretty pearl cardstock that she got from Michael's, which was pearlesque on one side and not on the other, which was so pretty. But I just wanted to make it as easy for you guys as possible, and show you how to do this. So now we're going to move on to the small petals, as you can see, and you see how we're going to overlap them almost all the way. I'm taking like the one edge from the cut side, and I'm making sure it touches the other edge of the outside of the petal, if you see here. And this way the center will stand up nice and straight, so you get all that great dimension. I would love to know in the comments down below if any of you guys have made these before, have tackled these before, have tried these before. I think that they're so pretty. And with that one pack of cardstock for $3.47, we could get 4 different large flowers out of it with green leaves, or we could do 5 large flowers with no leaves. But I just think that for $3.47, I don't think you could buy a flower this size. One of them, never mind 5 of them. But since we're going to actually do smaller flowers, they'll take up less paper, so we're actually going to get more of those. But I just thought that this was so pretty that I really just wanted to share them with you. So now I'm just repeating the process with the small one, making sure I'm overlapping. And now I'm going to take the 3 bowls and I'm going to glue them inside each other. And I'm making sure that I've turned them a little bit so that the petals don't exactly like line up in front of each other. That's not important. That's just me being me. And you can see I've bent some of the flower petals back more just to add a little extra. And that's a matter of personal preference as well. So now I'm taking the last 3 pages. These are the 3 half sheets that were left from the small petals. And I folded them in half long ways. And I'm cutting in from the folded edge almost all the way through. I'm leaving about a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of paper at the end. You don't want to cut all the way through. if at all possible. And what we're going to do is, you might know already, is we're going to roll these into a flower center, sort of like a stamen. It's really pretty. And you can do this with a different color paper as well, just to get a different center. That looks really pretty too. I've seen that in pictures. So you just start with the very, very beginning, and I add a little glue in the beginning and then a little glue as I go. You don't have to glue the whole time. And you roll it, and you just want to try to keep the edges of the paper together as best as possible. Now, two of the people who actually did the flower tutorials that I watched actually had their papers cut from like a Cricut, but I don't have a Cricut. So I'm not doing that. I hand cut everything. But if you go onto Pinterest or search the web, you can see that there are just a ton of different flower petal shapes and suggestions. I actually have a couple that I'll insert here for you guys. But I just once you like one tutorial on Pinterest, you know how that goes. It shows you 9,000 other ones. So, and then I've just glued all three of them together and put a whole bunch of glue right on the bottom. And I'm just going to hold it till it dries. And then you just want to fluff it out to your liking again. Now I've folded my paper pretty good. You can keep it rounded. And I'm trying to stick my finger in some of them so it's not like little folded pieces of paper. It's got a little bit more life and body to it. Also, if you cut the strips a little closer together there in the center, it'll also give more of a fuzzy frayed technique look. That's probably better to do if you only cut one at a time, instead of stacking all three pages together and cutting them at once. So now in that pack of paper there was some green, and I wanted to create leaves for these flowers as part of the decor. If you are going to create this for, leaves are optional. If you watch anybody's flower tutorials, you'll see not everybody has leaves. So I'm just showing you a basic leaf, and then I'm showing you, like, if it was a rose, that it would be like a little jagged edge. But I realized that I'm actually going to make a rose tomorrow, so I will leave that for tomorrow. So now I'm just cutting a regular leaf. Now what I've done is I've taken a piece of foam board, a scrap of foam board, and this is optional. You can use fabric or tablecloth or a towel. You just want to put something cushiony underneath it while you score leaf veins in there. And this is also optional, like I said. You see how pretty it looks with the leaf veins? There's really no rhyme or reason to this. If you've ever drawn a flower leaf before as a child, you just turn it over, turn the petal over, and score the leaf marks. And when you turn it over, it looks just like that. So, and then one leaf I wanted to show you, I just glued on the back of the flower by itself, and then one I'm going to do the same technique we did with the petals, where I'm going to cut 2 inches up the middle and overlap so that it stands up with the flower, just to show you both options. So here you go, and I'm just going to overlap it and glue it, turn it over and glue it down. See, that one kind of hugs the flower and it's going to come up, and the other one's going to hug the door. And then I'm just going to create a hanger with a piece of jute. I think we've done 10,000 hangers before. Now, as far as the balance of this is concerned, it's very, very light, but you want to make sure that you be mindful of where you put your hanger. Otherwise, your flower will flop. So I'm not only gluing the knot, I'm gluing up some of the string a little bit so that the string will stay close to the flower and the flower will hug the door. So you see that there? And then when that cools off, that is all she wrote. You can turn it over and adjust your petals and leaves as you wish, but that's it. So I hope you really, really enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you have anybody that's maybe interested in making these, share with friends and family. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to click subscribe if you haven't. Join the family. When you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.